It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad.
I don't know what the difference is between kosher and non-kosher stuff. I know it has to be like blessed and done, and the animals have to be killed a certain way.
It's one of those words that I throw around, and I think I know it, and if I say it with enough confidence, I think I can pass.
I wouldn't be someone who's like, I need this to be kosher.
Yeah.
Because everything can be kosher, apparently. Everything from salt to hot dogs can be kosher.
So we're talking specifically in terms of like foods. I can't just be like...
Well, what else is kosher? Isn't kosher a way to prepare food?
Yeah, no, well, I think that's the literal meaning, but can I use that word across different situations and conversations? Like doing
You can, because that's how words work, but that doesn't negate what the word means.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. I don't know. I have no clue.
Speaking of where the word comes from, we have a fact checker with us today.
Folks.
Otis, what do you got for us on...
Kosher?
Yep, hit us.
Yeah.
Well, according to the laws of the Torah...
By the laws of the Torah,
to be eaten
a kosher species must be slaughtered by let me see if I can guess. It's by like by a really sharp knife, and it has to slice the jugular, and all the blood has to drain out in one fell swoop. The knife has to be sharp. It has to be free of nicks, and it can't be like a rusty knife. It has to be a very sharp, clean knife. Correct?
That is correct.
That is
Damn.
correct. Yes, I did actually know this.
100 points to Alejandro for knowing his Jewish facts.
I know a couple things. I have read a couple of books.
Yeah, no, I know you're into theology to a certain extent.
Yeah, I'm not
so
a religious
I'm not even
person,
surprised,
but I do
dude.
like to read religious text.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that.
Not
kind of
surprised
stuff.
at all. Can we, Otis? Thanks for being here, folks.
Yeah,
Earlier
shout out
today,
to Otis.
Yeah, earlier today I posted a story on Instagram saying if Otis should be our fact checker for every single episode, and
He's a factor.
the people have spoken, and they are still speaking. And Otis, the King fact checker, is back.
Otis, King Otis.
Mm-hmm.
Check
King
him out on
Oats.
Instagram, guys. He's got pics by OP.
Pics by underscore OP.
I'm never gonna
You
get that
keep
right.
messing that up.
I'm getting closer.
You are.
I am getting closer.
Yeah.
I think the first time I said it was Ansel Adams at Ansel Adams Photography.
Way off. I think the first time you said it, you said Photos by Otos.
Because that's what I want it to be.
Yeah.
Don't
but
follow Photos by Otos yet, because that will be a thing.
You'll get
But
a
definitely
random account.
We should make that account just so we can have that title before someone takes it.
It should just be pictures of Otis.
Since we're doing a couple shout outs here in the first few minutes, I want to shout out some people who listen to our podcast. There's some people in Spain and Germany who download this.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast in Spain and Germany and like places outside of America, hit us up on Instagram and shit like that. Yo, we want to know what's going on and how you found us and interact with you guys. Because
that's really cool that you're listening overseas. I mean,
do you speak English? Are you Americans?
Yeah, because I don't know a lick of German.
I don't know. I've never licked a German.
Yeah, I've never licked a Spaniard either. Although I believe Spaniards might have licked my kind. Spain took over the Philippines. I'm allowed to say that, Filipino over here.
Interesting. Another race joke.
What?
So let's go
Not
ahead and
even
jump
a
into
joke,
the movie.
dropping facts,
Let's go ahead and
dude.
jump into the movie. Today movie. We will
My name Alejandro. Sometimes when I stutter, I speak like I got balloon in mouth.
The movie we watched today was The Ugly Truth.
The ugly. Oh, you said it without me.
I was looking at you, and you were just like doing this hand thing, and I'm facing you. Where else am I going to look? You want to try this again?
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hi, everybody. Oh, you mean
Straight from the title.
Sorry. 1, 2, 3.
The Ugly Truth. 2009 is when it came out.
Oh, look at you. You're doing the Nitty Gritty?
Oh, no. Just kind of like
You want
prefacing. Sure, let's switch it up.
Let's see if you can read my handwriting.
Oh, man. Chicken scratch all over the place.
It goes from the top left to right. Those are all the facts, and we can go.
Okay. All right, folks.
The best part is I've already forgotten the numbers.
Oh, so you're going to be guessing the numbers today. Yeah, let's play it that way. Okay, folks. So today we are going to be talking about The Ugly Truth, which came out 2009. It is rated R, and its runtime is 1 hour and 36 minutes, also known as 96 minutes.
Thank you for the AKA.
Dude, sometimes people, they kind of need that translation.
Yeah, definitely.
On IMDb, got a 6.4 out of 10. On
bad.
the Rotten Tomatoes, it got a whopping 14%. 30%. And on Metacritic, it got 28%. Now, this is my favorite part
Yes, it is.
of the Nitty Gritty.
Oh, boy.
Alejandro,
Yes?
what percentage of Google users liked this film?
It's usually in the 80s, but I'm going to guess something 87.
Ooh,
87
very
is usually
close.
the average.
I'm going to give you one more chance.
85?
90%.
A solid 90?
90% of Google users like this film.
I didn't expect that. I didn't think people liked Gerard Butler, and I also didn't think people liked his movies.
Dude, well, no, at this point, 300 had just come out maybe a year or two prior, and Katherine Heigl had just started Knocked
just
Up
been
probably a
knocked
few
up.
year ago.
And people didn't find out, like, apparently, rumor mill, I don't know it, I've never met the woman, that she's a bitch. That's why
Oh,
she doesn't get work anymore.
I've heard that.
And that sucks. I've also heard Gerard Butler is kind of an asshole.
Both of them? Dude, that's heartbreaking. And, one more before we move on. Cinema Score gave this an A-. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And let's see. Oh, let's jump into the synopsis.
Oh, okay.
Right at you. Coming right at you. I'm trying to do this like you. So,
You're doing a good job. You're doing a great job.
oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Let's see. I'm trying to read your handwriting, and can you pronounce that first word right there?
Afghanistan.
That's the first word?
No, I'm just kidding. The first word here says a chauvinist morning host.
Oh, a chauvinistic morning show commentator tries to prone the relationship theories he
Sorry, brother.
Dude, this is terrible.
I didn't. See, usually people don't read my stuff.
Man, I'm handing this back to you, dude.
Let me show you how it's done.
Okay.
A chauvinistic morning show commentator tries to prove the relationship theories that he exposes on a segment called The Ugly Truth.
Wow, that you said that so well.
Yeah, it's easy peasy.
I would never have guessed that you read that from your handwriting.
Son of a...
Dude, I'm just saying, dude.
The budget for this movie was $38 million.
Okay.
You want to guess how much it made?
I would love to. This movie bombed 20 mil.
Wow. No, you're wrong. This movie was a huge success. It made $205 million.
$205 million bucks?
That's right. You don't have to whisper. It's not a secret. It's all over the internet. You can look it up. It's pretty common knowledge.
Jesus Christ.
The director of this movie is a gentleman named Robert Lukatek. Does that sound familiar to you?
That sounds very familiar to me.
He directed Legally Blonde. He directed 21, which is one of my favorite movies, Monster-in-Law. He also directed a small film called Win a Date with Tad Hamilton.
He directed that too.
Correct.
Hey, we got a trend going on here.
He does have a movie coming out. It was announced, but there is no date soon. It's called The Expendables.
So is it like The Expendables, but all female cast?
Correct. Let's go ahead and jump into this movie.
Let's do it.
I do want to say right off the bat, when the movie opened, they're doing like a skyline shot of a city. And I was like, this
looks familiar.
Is that Sacramento?
Is that the like tiny drawbridge?
And it is. Sacramento, the city of Sacramento is heavily featured in this movie.
Oh, yeah. It all takes place in Sacramento.
A little bit in LA.
Just
but
all of the
it's
Bay
mostly
Area.
Sacramento. No,
Yeah.
Sacramento's not the Bay Area.
I'm sorry. Because they do talk about San Jose State, I believe, at one point, which is... and so
Gerard Butler went to San Jose State. Right?
I think that's what it was in the movie. And so it was pretty cool. And I like the little things they say about Sacramento because...
It was very complete. They had a very full world in this movie. So somebody whoever wrote this movie definitely took the time to really flesh it out.
Yeah, I like that they actually pointed out that there are weird people in Sacramento because Katherine Heigl, the whole point of the movie is that Katherine Heigl, she's trying to find a relationship, but she has difficulty because she's a control biatch. And
most people call them control freaks.
Freaks, I apologize, control freak.
It's not just that she's a control freak, but she's got a very specific kind. And not only that, she is a modern woman, very independent. She has a good job. She's a producer on a morning television, a news show.
An award-winning news show
in Sacramento. So she's got a lot going on. You know, I think that's just the modern world. What doesn't help her is that throughout the movie, she's saying that she's looking for this perfect man who likes wine and likes the opera and walks on doesn't like sports and would rather hang out, like literally a non-existent man.
Yeah.
And then and so the whole kind of joke of the movie is that like she's going to be looking for this guy, and Gerard Butler is constantly telling her that man doesn't exist. Yeah. All men are pigs. All men are in it to win it, so to speak.
He's so straightforward.
Which he doesn't sugarcoat it, and he so you know at first you're like not all men are like that. Like he's just being a dick. He's just an idiot. But then when he gets down to the truths and like the real things that like make men tick, he is pretty right on a bunch of things. He has reasons for why people.
You can justify all of them. They're pretty extreme. His reasonings.
His first scene, like when we first see him on television, he's burning books, like feminist books.
It's and the books have titles along the lines of like why women hate when men love what women hate.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that.
And
Where
he's
it's really confusing.
I'll tell you why you don't have a date, why you're ugly. It's because you need to.
Yeah, he has a bunch of callers calling in too, like female callers saying, "Hey, why'd you burn those books? Those got me through tough times." And he's like,
"Well, not only that, I wanted to mention something about the calling. Katherine Heigl calls into the TV show.
Yes,
she calls in and knows this phone number by heart. And
that's what it seems like.
Not only that, is instantly on the air. Nobody talks to her and says, hi, like, what's your shtick? And she doesn't talk to a producer. She just is instantly put into the air. That's not how it works. That's not how it works when you call somebody. She literally dials the phone number, waits 2 minutes, and then Gerard Butler picks up the phone, and then she's on TV.
That's the best service an infomercial, a live infomercial can provide.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. It's highly unrealistic.
And then she comes into work the next day to complain about this asshole that she got in a fight with on TV. Mm-hmm. And guess who just got a job at her TV station?
Gerard motherfucking Butler, dude.
And he comes in, cool as fuck.
He's so cool.
The boss
this guy's smooth.
Loves him. Mm-hmm. Everybody, and at first people are like, why are we hiring this guy? But then as soon as he walks in, everyone's like, this guy's rad.
We like him. He's so straightforward. He's upfront and he's smooth.
So they kind of like throw him into the fire, make him do immediately a segment with the two leading anchors. And the two leading anchors,
they're a married couple.
They're a married couple whose marriage is on the rocks.
Yeah.
And it's pretty clear. The guy, the actor.
I don't know his name, but he appears everywhere.
If you wouldn't mind looking that up for us, Otis, there's a gentleman in this movie. He plays the news anchor. I don't know what his name is. Do you remember what his name is? Neil? Nicole?
No clue. I can't even remember.
He's a white guy.
He's the male news anchor in the movie.
And he's in a bunch of stuff. He was in Fred Claus. He's in Bring It On. What's the other cheerleader one? The joke one.
No clue. I know he's in Still Waiting. He's in
Still Waiting. He's in a lot of things.
You guys will recognize him if you know him.
We'll get his name.
But anyway, Gerard Butler appears and has his own segment alongside these two news anchors, and he immediately calls them out, saying that your relationship is rocky. Let me guess, you haven't had sex in 3 months? And they're like shocked that he brought that up
because he's not afraid to say anything. The couple he's talking to, the gentleman's name is John Michael Higgins.
Thanks, Otis.
Thank you, fact checker. He is also impotent because he feels. Gerard Butler points out that he feels emasculated by the fact that his wife also is an anchor and makes more money than him.
Yep.
So thus it's coming out in the bedroom, and he's like, "That's nobody's." And Katherine Heigl is having a conniption in the room, like trying to make sure that this doesn't go on live TV.
Go to commercial.
And the director is like, nope, this is great.
Gold.
This is why we hired him. This is exactly what we wanted.
And that bit is so funny because eventually the news anchors fall into and they're like,
they just start like making out and they're just like,
yeah, he's like, let me be a man. Let me be a man. And then she's
like, be a man then.
And then they start making out hard.
On live TV.
Crazy.
So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was that is a news show.
Yeah.
That is the news.
That is like...
Could you imagine watching the news and then the two anchors start making out? Would you like...
Ratings would shoot through the roof.
No way, dude. People would be like, this isn't news. I guess maybe it would. I hate... That's one of my pet peeves.
What?
When the news does fluff pieces or does something stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't watch Good Morning America anymore because every other segment is like... Top 10 6 things you should buy for summer. The wines that make you skinny. And it's just like, this is the fucking news. Like I'm
cover the things that matter.
I'm watching this because I want to know what's going on in the world. I don't want you over here counting down the Bachelorette. Like next on Good Morning America, the person who got voted off on Survivor. I don't give a shit about the person who got voted off.
Top 5 breeds.
Put that on a different television show. Exactly. Put that on a different television show. Don't put that shit on the news. Those people, and I can't imagine the journalists who spent their time and life working to get on a nationally syndicated news show want to talk about this shit.
No, not at all.
They want to break the news. They want to be Scott Pelley or I don't know why Scott Pelley's the first news anchor who came to my head. That's such a random person, and now I can't think of any other.
A weird knowledge of
because I really
anchors.
like Scott Pelley. I think he's a great journalist. I think he's underrated and should have spent more time doing World News Tonight. And here's my shtick about Scott Pelley. Okay. He should do more on 60 Minutes. 60 minutes is a waste because you only actually get 45 minutes of segment because it's mostly commercials and intro.
So they should call it
45 minutes or do another segment. Do a fifth fucking segment so I can see 60 minutes of shit.
With 15 minutes of commercials.
Be honest, guys.
Yeah, be straightforward.
Let's get back to this movie that also threw me for a loop.
Yeah, you're all riled up about the news,
I just love Scott Pelley. Scott Pelley over Anderson Cooper all day. Don't at me. So I have a couple. Shut up, Otis. You can fact check that. I got a couple quotes here. Gerard Butler dropped some pearls.
Okay, yeah, dude, he had some of the best lines
when
in
he
this
was
film.
burning the books. He's talking about, he's like, none of this men are from Venus bullshit.
Yeah, it's usually men are from Mars.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah, if he doesn't even get that right, it's so funny.
One of my Michael Higgins, when they're first doing that news report, he's like doing his last bit of makeup, and the producers are checking him out, and he's walking away, and like they're like, all right, we're going live in 5, 4, and right before he goes live, he turns to one of the producers and he goes, "There's a bird in my dressing room."
Someone get it out.
He's like, "Can somebody get that out?" And the woman, his wife, is like, "Oh my god, the security is so bad
around here. A live bird, get
real
the bird
out.
out.
Oh my god, can somebody get the bird out?" That was one of my favorite jokes because that was an improv bit, but I think it's just so funny. That's such a big thing. So wait until just before you go back. There's a bird in my dressing room.
I wish they actually went live with that.
I wish, I would have liked to see the scene of the producer going in there. My next one was he calls that anchor on the live news Frowny McFlaccid.
Best part, and he was like, "McFlaccid, does that mean what I think it means?" He's like, "Yeah, that means what you think it means."
At one point, Katherine Heigl is making fun of Gerard Butler's masculine chauvinistic ways, and she's like, "Oh, what do you want? There's what do you want, a naked weather girl?" And she walks away, and Gerard Butler's response is, "There's a naked weather girl?"
Can we get her on this show? And then immediately afterwards, Katherine Heigl goes to sleep and has this nightmare that she is the naked weather girl.
When she goes on the date, so Katherine Heigl does find the man of her dreams after all.
Lives right across from her
what are the odds?
apartment.
Lives across the street from her apartment. They do go on a date, but she's going about it wrong. She's trying to be controlling about it, and she knows she's going to scare the guy away. Gerard Butler overhears. He decides he's going to coach her through how to win a man's heart. And he's saying some things that she thinks are ridiculous, but like the whole phone gag of her hanging up him hanging up the phone.
Yeah,
she was like cutting off the phone call and making him call back was a. As soon as she did that, scene. I was like, "Oh, I'd fucking call it back right away." Mm-hmm. And girls know that. I've had ex-girlfriends who like hang up on me and then I call right back and they're like, "Don't call me right back." I'm like, well, then you knew that was gonna happen. Like we're in the middle of a conversation. You knew that was gonna happen.
That's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Anyway, so she goes on the date and they're walking away and Gerard Butler is like spying on them and they have a headpiece. So he's talking to Katherine Heigl, Cyrano de Bergerac style, which was a great
feeding her all
parallel
of the lines.
to this movie is such a great modern version of Cyrano de Bergerac, which was one of my favorite books.
Good book.
We'll get back to the correlations of that when we get like to the deep dive when we're trying to be smart about it. But so anyways, he says that like, "I love you because you're so complicated. Like I can't figure you out." And Gerard Butler is like, he's an idiot. I figured you out in the first minute I met you.
He knew that she was a control freak. I like the whole. Do you have more lines that you want to spit out?
No, go ahead.
I like the whole montage of when Gerard Butler finally takes Katherine Heigl out to fix her whole look. Brings her out to this like dress store, gets her this new.
He does the crazy stupid love montage, but with Katherine Heigl. I do like the. You don't often see a man take a woman, the woman lead, and do stuff like this. Right?
It's usually the other way around.
It's a gay friend, or it's another woman, or but here's a straight man taking a straight woman out, and like, no, this is gonna be cool, and this is gonna work, and he's right. He's not, and he doesn't dress her overly slutty. He doesn't like make her like.
He knows the right amount. He knows doing the right men want, essentially.
And then here's one of my favorite parts about like how good he is of like a people person. At one point, he's asking her if she knows how to flirt, right? And she's like, "Oh yeah, just like you." She's like, "Hey chick, you want to come out?" And then she grabs his butt, and he's like, "I would never grab a girl's ass."
Solid.
And
scene.
I just love that he has a line like that. Even he wouldn't cry. Like, I would never grab a girl's ass when I'm trying to flirt with her. But then 2 minutes later, right before she's about to answer, he's like, "Wait, one more thing." He smacks her on the ass,
and she's like, "Oh,"
because. She can't do anything right there. She has to go into the door. He knows that in that moment, there's nothing that can happen.
She can't say anything.
But when
she can't explode.
With it, like, so it's just
I
fucking brilliant.
Their dynamic, their flirtatious dynamic, because he had broken down the barrier of like, okay, obviously I'm not bullshitting with you. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty. I gotta help you get this guy. And so he could be kind of sexual with her because he's trying to help her sexuality and make her more attractive.
I kind of got right off the bat that he liked her.
Oh,
have you ever done that where you're with a girl? That's a classic friend zone technique that I think guys in high school do, where you'll be like, "Oh, Cindy, you really like Steve? I'll help you win Steve's heart." And then like you hang out with Cindy for weeks, and you're both laughing and smiling because it sounds like you both have done that.
You're on the other side of this whole spectrum. Otis and I being the two nice dudes in high school, you know.
I've done that. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, no, but I think you figured it out. You figured out the whole thing with girls a lot earlier than us. But Otis and I were definitely the two dudes in high school. We were just like, we like a girl, and then we would hang out with the girl, and we would we would just want to be friends with them because we thought being friendly was the way to go. What do you got to say, Otis?
I just wanted to pull up a fact check on Alex, and he was not one of the nice guys in high school.
No, that's baloney. I was a nice guy in high school.
You were a nice guy, but were you one of the nice guys? I don't think so. Like, you take it... Me.
Oh, no, I know exactly how to explain
Such a
this.
nice guy.
We recently discovered that there's this chart of lawfully good, chaotic good, and
for all of you D&D
for all you
fans out
D&D
there.
fans out there, shout out to D&D fans.
All across the globe.
We've never played. If you would like to walk us through the game, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Hit us up if you can walk us through the game.
If you're a DM, please invite us over and
slide
help
into
us.
our DMs with your DM, and we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Anyways, we discovered that chaotic, neutral, and good and stuff like that. I think I'm either neutral good or chaotic good. I think
you're chaotic good
leaning
for
a little bit more
sure,
to chaotic
dude.
good.
Chaotic good. I want to be neutral good, but apparently I'm lawful good.
Yeah, you're for sure. Christian's lawful good.
No, come on, I break the rules sometimes.
Otis is more neutral good.
Okay, so we're hitting all the top
because
row.
I believe because to me neutral good is like you do the good thing, but it's not because it's the good thing or because it's the right thing. It's because that's just what you do.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, the lawful good thing, do the right thing because it's what you do and it's the right thing to do and it makes everybody win no matter what.
You do have a point there,
as
but
opposed to mine, and mine is chaotic good. Yeah, I might do good for you, but it's not for you. It's fucking for me. Like I'm gonna help you fucking out.
At least you're straightforward about it.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember. Shout out to my buddy Anthony. We used to work together at Orange Theory. And then I told him one time straight up, I was like, I only hang out with people that I think I can probably gain something from them. And then we started hanging out. And then a couple months into hanging out, he was like, hey, man, remember when you said you only hang out with people when you thought you could gain? What do you think you can gain from me? And I told that dumb fuck, oh, I just like our friendship.
That's wow. And you called him a dumb fuck too?
He listens to this podcast all the time too. I can't wait for him to hear this shit.
For you folks out there, Alejandro does not like the word symbiosis. He much prefers the term manipulation.
No, it's the other. No. It's the other way around. Christian doesn't like it when I use the word manipulate.
No, of course not.
So he's told me to use the word symbiosis instead. Don't flip it. It's not the other way around. It's not that I don't like the word symbiosis because I have used it and changed my vernacular.
Okay.
But it's that you don't like the word. And for me, it's I'm not a sugarcoat kind of guy. I'm a very blunt. I don't like to,
You're straightforward.
Yeah.
And now to get to the point, now you're really trying to change your vernacular because we had that discussion. And now he will copy and paste the word symbiosis and manipulation. And he'll be like, what do you think about this guy? I think we should symbiose him.
We should symbiose with him, huh?
That's not even how
we
you
should
use the
symbiose
word.
him so that we can get him to like our page more and shit like that. And Christian will be like,
you're not using it right, man. I don't like any of these sentences that you're throwing out.
Also, recently found out I'm using the hashtag =MeToo wrong.
For such an articulate individual, and for someone who likes to dabble in politics, you do some things that are very questionable.
I always know exactly the worst thing to say.
Yeah,
that's because I'm so up to date on like pop culture and politics and things like that. I always know the worst thing to say.
There's one thing that I do that turns heads and no one really reacts to, and I think I'm just gonna stop using it as a joke. But like, let's say if there's like something going on like at work, and someone says like, "Oh, well, not my problem," and I'll be like, hashtag not my president, and they'll turn around and they'll be like, what? They don't understand it.
That's similar.
That's kind of funny, right?
That's similar to when I would say hashtag #MeToo, and people would be like, no.
Well, that's a bigger issue, dude.
I think I'm saying those same words. Let's get back to this movie.
Just say me too.
I do
want to
hashtag
out.
What? It's a hashtag. No.
Oh my gosh.
I do want to make a couple points here. This was a good movie that I enjoyed. Ugly Truth, because this is a podcast about the ugly truth.
Yeah.
This was a movie that I thought was fun, but kind of missed the mark. When I was reading reviews for this movie, That's what seemed to be the common thread.
Yeah.
A lot of people said this was a so-so script with good actors doing so-so acting. And I can't necessarily argue with that. I would have liked to have seen this movie done with Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson.
Oh, I would. Kate Hudson, I would like to change out because they were both in Fool's Gold.
Fool's Gold, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. They've done they did about 3 or 4 rom-coms together, and that's my favorite team up of the Matthew McConaughey rom-coms because we will get to those eventually. That's his best team up. Better than with Sarah Jessica Parker. Better than with Jennifer Aniston. His best team up is Kate Hudson.
You know, I was fine with Gerard Butler in this script, but I could have gone without Katherine Heigl. First of all, Katherine Heigl, what do you guys think? She looks kind of weird.
I think she's beautiful.
Prettiest girl.
I think she is Otis has given us a thumbs up with a hard face.
No, but it's like a flaccid thumbs up. Oh, is that a solid thumbs up or is that a flaccid thumbs up? It's like she has one of those faces.
He's thinking about it. I really like Katherine Heigl. What ruined Katherine Heigl for me was how apparently bad she treats people on the set of movies.
Yeah, dude. You know what I've heard that about too? Is fucking Topher Grace on the set of That 70s Show. Apparently he was a dick.
I heard during That 70s Show.
Yeah,
that was true. But once he got older, that changed.
Yeah, because now he's friends with the cast. He took
he used to not like to do stuff with the cast, and that's for a long time one of the reasons why they couldn't get a reunion.
So I'm glad they turned around because like recently
he matured.
Yeah, he had a picture posted with Fez.
They were all kids when they did That 70s Show.
That makes sense, dude.
Mila Kunis was legitimately 16 years old,
and she had lied about her age just so she could do the show, and she was kissing Michael Kelso all throughout that show as a minor.
It worked out.
Yeah, they did something
right.
They
got married.
Very inspiring.
This movie is a lot of fun. There's one more point that I want to make. The climax of the movie is when Gerard Butler and Katherine Heigl kiss in an elevator. They finally have this moment where they're in LA and they kind of get to a point where the tension is too much and they finally they hug and then they break and then they kind of like.
Before we hit the climax, I would like to talk about the
you want to get back to the
foreplay? Yeah, there we go. Because Katherine Heigl goes on this trip with Gerard Butler to this late night show with Craig Ferguson.
Late Show. Do you remember the Late with Craig Ferguson?
No, dude, I was much younger.
No, this was 2000.
I mean, I wasn't watching Late Show because I had to go back to sleep early.
That's a good joke. That's a good one.
Oh, thank you for the handshake.
The Late Show with Craig Ferguson is what he was replaced by or succeeded by James Corden. And that show came on after the Late Night Show with David Letterman, which was taken over by Stephen Colbert. So now we're in this new age where I don't know why I'm getting so into
We have
this.
a whole bunch of different talk show hosts.
But the Late Show was a really good, funny show. And Craig Ferguson was really funny because he's got this Scottish accent. And I thought it was funny that we have a Scot and Gerard Butler is Scottish and he's not doing an accent at all. Gerard Butler is really good at changing his accent.
He was really good. He seems like a solid American man in this one.
So he does the Late Show.
Afterwards, they go to like this like club type bar.
Yeah, like a salsa club.
They're playing some heavy Latin music. It's real sexy and sensual.
They order drinks, then go dance, and then leave.
Yeah.
Did you notice that they order drinks and then leave almost immediately?
They walked out. They didn't pay a check. They made them make drinks, and they walked out and didn't pay a check.
So there's only two other movies, for sure one other movie that did that, and it really bugged me.
What movie?
It was The Spy Who Loves Me. The James Bond movie. There's a scene where Bond goes he spends about 5 minutes explaining how he wants his martini, and then the girl next to him spends another 5 minutes explaining how she wants her drink, and then then immediately after the bartender walks away, they're like, okay, time to leave. If I was that bartender and I spent all that time listening to how you want to drink and then I turn around and you're fucking gone.
Yeah. For any bartenders that watch films like this or see these continuity issues, or for any frugal people that love drinks, you're going to notice they
ordered drinks and didn't drink them.
They left? Yeah, they left the precious drinks there.
Or the drink that she had on the table already had the grossest piece of sad mint and no ice. And it's
a terrible drink.
How many shots have they, how many times have they redone this shot?
But they move on to dancing.
So they dance. Yes, let's progress a little. So they dance and it's a very...
so
the dance doesn't start off very sensual. It's just a dance, just a salsa dance, and they get
their faces were pretty close. It started off pretty close.
No, not right off the bat. Right off the bat, they're just kind of having fun dancing.
But it does get a little grindier.
It gets a little grindier. They get a little more closer. And then Katherine Heigl is like, I want to let's go, let's leave. And I thought at that moment she was like, let's leave because I want to.
Oh, I thought that at that moment she was like, let's leave because I don't want for this to
It
progress.
was somewhere
at more.
in the middle, I think.
Oh, they both knew what they wanted, but what they shouldn't have
because
done.
Gerard Butler, like they cut to him and he's kind of making this face, this kind of like face.
What does she want?
Exactly. So then they go back to the hotel. They're in the elevator.
Boom.
They have this kiss, and then they separate. She goes to her room.
I like how that happened. First of all, the elevator opens. It's her floor. She's about to leave, and they hug
It's
each
his
other.
floor.
His floor.
He's
And,
about to leave, and they hug, say goodnight.
They hug like
walk
2 or 3
and then they
times.
hug again and like kiss on the cheek. You know, have you ever done that? Those 3 hugs I've definitely done before. Like with a girl, or you know, you like all right, good night. You like hug her, no, nothing.
I've never done that.
And then
I've
you
never
do- and
really
then-
gone in for the
And then
kill.
you're like, okay, well, good night. And then you go for another hug, and like you both kind of like bump chins and cheeks, and then you realize like, oh shit, that was the sign, that was the moment, and then you're like, all right,
Okay,
a third
see
hug,
you later.
and then the third hug turns into
An intense make out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So they make out, they break apart. She goes to her room, he goes to his room. In her room is her boyfriend.
Boom. Surprise. No,
Oh,
she's in her room.
She goes in. That's right. She's in her room.
And then she hears
someone knock on the door. And
she's,
and
like,
you think
tidying
it's Gerard
herself up.
Butler. You
Yeah.
think it's Gerard Butler who's come back, because even Gerard, like when he gets to his room, is like,
what should I do?
What did I do? Did
Which
I play
is
that
fantastic
right?
because this entire film, 50 minutes in, he's this confident guy that could pull any girl.
Yep.
And
Do
then
what he wants. Say what he wants. Say
for
how
the
he feels.
first time now
He doesn't know what to do.
He's all up in his feels.
So she opens the door and it's her boyfriend. And
Yeah.
her boyfriend's like, I just missed you too much. We were gonna have a trip. I couldn't get past things. Essentially, her boyfriend was super horny. Drove from Sacramento to LA just so he
Yeah.
could bang her.
Yeah.
She wasn't feeling it. So of course, she was already starting to fall for Gerard Butler. As this is happening, guess who's coming down the hall?
Gerard Butler, man.
And he's like, no, like, don't do it. You're being stupid.
He's
He's like, just
pacing
don't,
back
don't be a
and forth
bitch.
in the
Just do
hallway.
it. So he goes, he knocks on the door. Shirtless boyfriend opens the door.
And then she's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry." And,
And
he's
he
like,
fucks up and he leaves. So now, so of course that ruins their relationship. Gerard Butler's hurt. He's very clearly, this is the first time you see him hurt by a woman. And now you figure out why he's so bad to women. Because he's been hurt like this.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like this feeling. And so he covers it up. Which is why I think a lot of men treat women poorly. I think if you look at why men treat women
'Cause they're
poorly,
putting up
usually
walls.
comes back.
Yeah.
Back to,
If I get too close
a girl
to
who
you.
said no to you at
Yeah.
prom. Like, fucking grow up, dude. A lot of people say no to you. Like, shut the fuck up.
Of course. It doesn't mean you should treat women like shit.
Like that's the worst thing. Like when I hear, not to get on a side tangent, but when I hear like a woman that gets murdered or something like that, or gets followed in a dark alley and beat because she said no to the because she didn't let the dude buy her a drink.
Yeah, screw you,
I always
man.
think like that dude's like such a bitch of a man, like such a low level of a man to be like, she said no to me. I'm gonna kill her.
Yeah, I'm sorry you guys weren't compatible. There are 7 billion
Dude, fucking
individuals
grow up.
on this planet. Find someone
those
else.
aren't men.
Yeah, dude.
So that's the ugly truth.
Exactly.
Do you have a best person on set award?
I'm gonna give it to Gerard Butler for sure.
I'm also going to give it to Gerard Butler. He's doing the best acting. He spent real time on the Adam Carolla show studying
So that he could study how to
how
be a man's
show.
man
Exactly.
in America.
Because he's a real methodical actor. He really puts his time
That's
and
why I
effort into
really
this.
like him, dude.
Yeah, this proves to me that even in the smallest roles, he puts the most effort into it. I do want to get to something real quick, though. The climax of the movie was that make out scene, and then they break up. They do get back. The resolve is they do get back together in a hot air balloon at a supposed hot air balloon festival in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Sacramento is one of the few cities in the world that actually have hot air balloons illegalized because of fire hazards. So there is no Sacramento hot air balloon festival. In fact, the next closest hot air
This
balloon...
year, was it legal at the time, or had it been illegalized
They've
prior?
been illegal since the 1800s.
Ah,
Because of fire fears.
dude.
The next closest hot air balloon is in Temecula in California. They hold that every year. That's over 450 miles away. So fuck this stupid ass geographical movie because they start talking about the Sacramento River. No fucking way this shit happened.
Do you like this movie or not?
I do. Did you recognize the hot air balloon driver?
The dad from Even Stevens.
Another
Duh.
TV show that takes place in
Sacramento.
I did like this
Exactly.
movie, guys. You should watch it. It is really funny. It does have some anachronisms, but
Before we move on, I want to talk about one of my favorite scenes. It was Gerard Butler's trying to help Katherine Heigl be more sexual, and so he gives her a little gift, and it's those vibrating underwears. Shout outs.
Vibrating panties.
Those vibrating panties. And right before her date with Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Nice Doctor across the street, she puts them on just to try them on, just to see what all the buzz is about. Ha, buzz.
You gotta let me laugh at your pun, dude. So you can't just immediately laugh at your
Dude,
pun.
let me tell jokes the way I tell jokes. Come on, it was pretty funny though. Anyway, that scene was really funny. She puts it on. She gets a knock at the door. It's her news. It's Gerard Butler.
Yeah,
and,
they have a big dinner. She has a work dinner that she needs to attend.
which her boyfriend comes along with, and she's there, and she drops the remote out of her purse.
And a kid picks it up, and he thinks it's like a lightsaber handle.
Like a toy, and he's like playing with it, and he was like, what are all these buttons doing? And so she's trying to give this spiel about like their game plan as to how to progress the news show, and this kid's playing with it, and she's like, well,
she's well, you don't have to act it out, we can just say it's
I'm not gonna
When
do
Harry Met Sally-esque. It's that idea of you have this crazy good ceviche that's giving you an orgasm, and
it's really funny, and she climaxes at the table, and everyone's like, well, at least she has enthusiasm.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah.
I do like when she tells Gerard Butler to tell the story, and Gerard Butler's like, no, I like the way you're telling it.
Yeah, he knew that this kid had the remote.
Is that the best way? Like if you're trying to help a woman who says she doesn't masturbate, is that the gift you get her? Vibrating panties?
No. Ease her into it, man.
I don't even think that's easing into it. That seems like a joke of a toy. You know what I mean? We can.
You think so? Because I think I know someone that actually has them.
Yeah, as a joke. I don't think anyone legitimately uses those two.
No, I know someone that legitimately uses it.
Say their first and last name.
Every time we want to name drop, I have to bleep it out. I'm just going to do the Charlie Brown adult voice.
I'll get a trombone just so we can have it authentic. That's not what their voices sound like.
Man, I got to rewatch Charlie Brown.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, I think you should check out this movie. It's on Netflix right now. It's on TV every once in a while.
Yeah,
actually.
it's popular enough. You'll know it. People
Look, it wasn't
know it.
rated very high. It is a stupid rom-com. Don't expect much out of it.
So watch it with a grain of salt and just try to be entertained.
Yeah, it is fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. We'd like to give a big shout out to Otis. Thanks again. He'll be back for every single episode now. Thank you, Instagram users, for voting. And
follow us on all our platforms, ICBTB Podcast.
And don't forget to rate and review
on iTunes. Thank you, guys.
All right. See ya.
It can't be that bad. Oh, 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 it can't be that bad.
Hey guys, real quick, we'd just like to give a few shout outs to the people that have helped us get to where we are.
We want to say thank you.
Thank you to the Boo Bros for the amazing sound production.
Yeah, thanks to Greg Reasoner for helping us out with some artwork.
Thanks to Faith Cow for helping us out with some additional artwork.
Of course, we want to thank, as always, Melissa and Otis because they're
awesome photographers
and doing things like that. And then Otis also has his new role as fact checker. So thank you so much, Otis. We really appreciate it.
And of course, we'd love to thank you guys.
Yeah, we want to thank the baddies out there.
Thank you, baddies.
You guys are killing it. Keep it up.
All right. See you later.